Chitty guys here. Quick video because it might rain. If you have a look, we have lovely weather, and now being English, it's going to rain. Just cleaned out the greenhouse, get everything ready for this year. Up here we're going to plant some seeds and see how they get on. Weather's warming up, we're going to be having a propagator in a greenhouse. Hopefully it'll stay warm.
It's again as a test, so usually you would propagate them in the warm.
Yeah, we're probably going to do another batch in a few days up inside. We're going to be using Red Savinas. Red Savinas are probably our favourite plant, wouldn't you say?
Only because they grow.
They germinate easily, they grow fast, and they're about a third as hot as Bertolocias, but the number of chilies you get out is much better, and they grow fast. Mark's had one Bertolocia out of planting how many?
I'm not sure on the amount. I'd have to check my videos.
Many.
Two of them technically popped up, and one of them sort of died. Well, I don't know. It's just not happening.
So, and also you get bad sellers for that, but we might have a sale on these at the end of the year, depending on how many seeds we have. Well, we'll keep you informed. Yeah, I think that's it for now. We're just going to fill up our propagation tray with dirt, pop in a couple in each of these. Well, maybe one, because we've got quite a few seeds, but we have another batch from our original seeds we bought. And we'll be back in a moment.
Yes.
We're back.
Good morning, good evening, good night, whatever time it is. Yes, I'm back from, well, I'm not, but yes. Well, I was on the other end of the camera, but you know what I'm on about. Anyway.
You narrowly avoided being committed this week.
I'm gonna plant some seeds, which you've seen us do many a times. Whilst I'm doing this, this is the most we've ever planted, and if every one of these plants grows, and if every one of these plants has peppers, and we estimate about 50 peppers per plant, do the math.
There's 24 gaps, so 52. 1,200 chilies.
Well, I said I had 2 million this year, so I'm putting my finger about that much down. Depending on the size of your finger, it might change and differ. It's freezing cold, so
they're a bit damp at the moment.
I'm not going to have hope, to be quite honest with you, with these outdoor ones that we're testing. But you never know!
We're going to have them in the greenhouse, which is actually quite warm, even though it's clouded over, and inside a propagator at the same time. Check on them daily, and keep them warm.
Hopefully they won't end up like the overwinter ones, or the ones
which aren't too happy.
Some overwinter ones and some that we planted during the winter in attempts to try and actually make them grow early, which apparently doesn't work anyway.
Well, there's also keeping them over winter, which if you can do, then you usually get more out of a chinense in its second year, but less out of an annuum, I've read. So it's worth keeping a chinense, but maybe not an annuum. Maybe it's just worth keeping the seed.
Also, to all those comments where people were like, oh yeah, well, I got mine and I planted them 2 days ago and I've got millions of fruit. You're fortunate to live in a lovely country where it's nice and warm.
Over winter we had days where it was actually, the warmest it got was -7 degrees. So, and we can't really afford lighting inside, and
yeah, I noticed some of you have got a few. Well, that's the point. We've got that other comment as well, haven't we, about a person that's just wondering why seeds weren't coming up, and he's got them in the
under the
lights and stuff. Which with chili peppers, they actually prefer to start in the dark, in the warm.
What happens is the seed opens and then the plant starts coming out, and it only does this if it's underground and dark, and then it'll try and reach for the light. So you may want to keep them underground in the dark for a while, and just so that the chili opens, and then it'll be looking for the warmth and the light. But you don't want it too strong while they're young, because you'll just shock and burn them.
Which is what it looks like from some of the ones which had popped up.
Yeah, so keep them in natural light in the window, keep them a little warm, not too hot, and then when they've got, I'd say, their third set of leaves, I think, just rough estimate, then they might be ready for the main light. They've got to have adult leaves. The seed leaves aren't good enough.
Depends where you live as well. if it's a really hot country and it's sunny this time of year, it's going to be a different type of heat. So if you see mine all in the light, the sun's completely different.
It doesn't get
it's
anywhere
not
as hot.
It's not a different sun. No. It's just not as hot. Yeah, so swap the sun round for different countries. Ignore that. That's not true.
At least that's what the government says. And they're watching us.
There's any other questions that people asked which we just didn't have time to answer them?
Yeah, we're sorry about that. As we said, we're both quite busy at the moment, projects for university. But, fertilising levels? I think you have a video for
which
that.
I was going to answer in a different video, yes. Which it'll either come before or after this one. That's the latest comment, which I will deal with. Don't you worry about that one. Not many to go now, so if you're getting tedious, maybe some music.
Da, da, da.
Nothing copyright, remember?
Da, 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 da. Done. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, we can't do any more of that one.
We haven't put enough soil in that one.
We can get some more.
Do it in a minute.
Yeah, this was just a quick fill them up. Some of them are still a bit damp, but when they're damp, it helps like open the seed. It triggers the response of the seed that it's time to start growing.
I've heard some people say that on difficult seeds, you've obviously seen me put them in an airing cupboard and stuff, but some people have actually said to get a standing knife and put a little slit down the side of the seed, because
it's risky, and it depends on what you're...
causes the plant to, because they rip open anyway for the plant to come out. I've noticed on a lot of them that a little hole appears, and then the stuff grows out of that little hole. So if you start the hole first, then I'd look it up though before you go and do something.
Yeah,
like
it's
that.
risky. With these Red Savinas, we found that they germinate so easily, we don't need to use any method except putting them in the ground and leaving them in light.
Budgerilokias
Don't let them dry out.
Different story.
Yeah, Budgerilokias aren't half open, which is also why we like these.
They're known as just really difficult peppers to. They're notorious for not germinating and being really difficult to grow. Unless you really know what you're doing. So if I pull it off, I don't know what I'm doing.
Alright, so I think that's it from us. Just going to put these in there, and that's it.
Guess what's next?